What's up with it, man? Polo Sports Talking Entertainment here again with that. Be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're not a member, and also hit the notifications too, so that you are able to get all of my content. Okay. First and foremost, once again, know it sounds like a broken record, man. I apologize about these technical difficulties that's been going on. My area has been having some real bad internet reception, so I do want to apologize about that. Now, this was the Battle of the Boroughs, the Battle of New York. Uh, New York Knicks versus the Brooklyn Nets. The Nets, they come in at 14-6, and the Knicks they came in at 11-9. Of course, the Knicks they've been having more of a tougher schedule and have had better quality wins as opposed to the Nets, whose record has been overstated. But before I begin, I do want to put some things into perspective that some people may not believe. Now, yesterday we had talked about the NBA defensive uh, rank ratings and rankings right now, and what was shocking is that when it came to the defensive rating, not defensive efficiency, but the defensive ratings, the Brooklyn Nets they come in as a third, right at third. So that's something to be said, being that New York is relatively known for their defense, and that's one of the reasons why they had got Kemba Walker out of the rotation, is because when they put Kemba Walker in, they shot up well over the hundreds. I think it was like 116 or something like that. But then when they took him out, their efficiency was down to like a 99 or somewhere like that. That's a big drop. So you can understand why they wanted to make that change. But it was a really great game. Really great game for James Harden, rather, who's came in and had his struggles, his up and downs through the season. Been doing a lot of complaining, but got to give credit to what's credit due to James Harden. He came in with 34 points and 10 rebounds, nearly triple double with 8 assists. Uh, Also, you know, they kind of struggled in trying to get everything together in, I would say, in that second quarter, really in that second quarter. But between like the third quarter and the fourth quarter, and then that's when New York they had tried to make their late run, and that was powered by a combination of Evan Fournier and Alex Burks, who stepped in for Kemba Walker, and then also D Rose, Alex Burks, he had 25. Julius Randle did his thing, 24. Uh, yeah, Derrick Rose had 16 and 9, and Emmanuel quickly he chipped in with uh, with 12, and Evan Fournier had 13. But it wasn't enough. It just was not enough. Now, the thing about New York that I think that we have to point out, the Knicks lost this game more than the Brooklyn Nets had won this game. You know, the Knicks outshot the Brooklyn Nets. Not, it wasn't a great percentage from three, but they shot well over 30% in comparison to Brooklyn, which was at 28%. The Knicks were at 34%. They outshot them on free throws, even though they didn't shoot that much. And surprisingly, the Knicks they out rebounded them, especially in the offensive glass. And another thing, in another area that the Knicks had actually dominated the Nets in that department, well, not completely dominated, but they had the edge on them, with the points in the paints. But the thing that costed Knicks were the fouls. Now, uh, the Knicks are not they're not doing what they're known for, their calling card, which is, you know, giving 200% on defense and, just doing enough in terms of the offense in order to keep the game steady. That was their calling card. And I think they need to go back to doing that so that they can go ahead and get back to playing Coach Thibodeau style basketball. They've gotten away from that and they're actually trying to do more offensive things that is not really known for. And I can understand that. They want to be an offensive threat because you still have to score the ball at the end of the day. Everybody knows that you have to score the ball. You can have defense all day, but if you're not capable of scoring, then you're not really going to be successful. Even though defense and rebounds, they do win championships, but at the same token, you still got to put the ball in the hole. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's through free throws, whether it's through the long ball, whether it's in the paint, whatever, you still got to score. At the end of the day, that's what really matters. Hats off to the Nets. Now, Kevin Durant didn't have he didn't have his best game. He had 27 and 9. Patty Mills, he had 10. He came in, torching because he's him along with guys like Valanciunas, and at one point it was Melo. They were some of the guys that were up in 3-point percentage this year, and he came in with that, but you know didn't have his best game, and then Thomas had 12, 2, and 1, but they did just enough to go ahead and get the win. I'm surprised by Bembry's stat, a personal favorite of mine. I like the way he plays. I think he brings, like I was saying in the previous video yesterday. Well, no, the day before yesterday when I talked about the Knicks record being overrated and their schedule being overrated. Bembry brings a lot to the table that I don't think a lot of people are recognizing. So this is something that I think that the Nets, they can say, hey, we got the win and everything, but at the same token, I still got to see more from the Nets, And as far as the Knicks are concerned, you know, they uh they pretty much are slipping right now, and the Bucks are climbing. They're at the seventh spot. The tie is a three-way tie between us, the 76ers. Actually, a five-way tie. Sorry about that. Between the Celtics, Hawks, Sixers, and the Cavaliers. You know, but you see the Bucks. They started at rock bottom and have climbed their way to the top. And see a couple of these teams that are on the East. Their records might like the Pacers. They're a good team, but they're losing close ball games. The Raptors, they're a good team, but they're losing close ball games. You know what I'm saying? Because the Raptors are 9-13, and the Pacers are 9 and 14. And as far as the Pistons and the Magic, we know that they're null and void. But it's a very competitive, to say the least, Eastern Conference. You know what I'm saying? And at one point, the Washington Wizards, they were at the top of the chain. Now they've dwindled down, and now it's a three-way tie as well with the Heat, Wizards, and the Bucks. And the Heat at one point were at the top at one point for just a little bit, and even Chicago. So basically what I'm saying is it's a toggle, especially when you talk about that first through the sixth spot. You know what I'm saying? Even New York was up there at one point, you know, but they went down. So now things are starting to, unfold here and unravel. And You know, as we come approaching, you know, to the quarter of the season, also nearing the half over here in February, we're going to see what some of these teams are really about if they're going to keep a steady pace. You know, so y'all let me know what you think. Leave your comments. Like this video, share it, subscribe, hit them notifications too. Until then, it's Polo Sports Talk and ENT, man. I'll get at y'all later.